Hey guys, so I'm going to walk you through ElevenLabs and explain exactly what I use ElevenLabs for and what I recommend using ElevenLabs for and the do's and don'ts of ElevenLabs. Because I know ElevenLabs is a very popular AI tool you guys have probably all heard if you've looked into AI voice generation. And it is probably the most popular tool out there right now for AI voice generation. But there is a few things to know about what it can do and what it cannot do. So ElevenLabs is very good at creating realistic voices, right? That's what we think. However, ElevenLabs speech to speech isn't good. ElevenLabs voice changer, this model right here, is not good. When you upload a voice on ElevenLabs voice changer, oftentimes when you change the voice, it becomes very, very production level. Like almost like it slurs words. It sounds like it's like off a really expensive, like a really quality podcast mic. And that's exactly what you're trying to avoid when you voice change. Typically, when you voice change, you want to change the voice so that the voice changes, but the actual cadence and the background noise of things stay the same. So if a voice is in a room originally and you change the voice to something else, you want the actual voice to be the thing changing. You don't want the fact that it's in a room to change. You don't want to make it sound like it's on a whole other mic. And ElevenLabs doesn't do a great job of actually producing that quality voice change. It oftentimes just replaces the whole background noise, replaces the whole room thing and the actual cadence with a completely new thing that does not sound as good. And it also slurs words a lot. When it changes the voice, certain words, if the character is speaking a little bit fast or if the character is saying different words, a lot of the time, ElevenLabs voice changer can actually slur the words when you put it through the voice changer and it can actually mess up the quality of it. So I don't recommend using ElevenLabs voice changer. And I'm going to show you a different tool and another module that is actually much better than this. So that's the bad part about ElevenLabs. And now I'm going to show you the strengths. Okay, so the strengths of ElevenLabs is actually their text-to-speech model. Their text-to-speech model is very realistic and it sounds very, very good. But there's a few key things to note before using the actual model. Based on my experience and what I've tested, and I've tested a lot of different things in ElevenLabs, the best way to use text-to-speech is by actually creating your own voice. You may see on the right here where it says voice, and you have your pre-made ElevenLabs voices that come with when you open ElevenLabs or the ones you select from their catalog of voices. I don't recommend using these pre-made voices. A lot of the time, they come pre-made with very podcast to studio-like feels. And if you're doing anything in AI UGC, you don't want that sort of sounding voice. You know, maybe there's some scenarios where you may want it, but I've seen you can get much better results by just simply using voice design first, creating your own voice from scratch using their voice design feature and using Gemini to help you out create it, or uploading a reference voice you found from TikTok or some sort of YouTube video or something, and then cloning that voice with ElevenLabs voice clone to actually use. Those are the two best ways of using it, and I'm going to show you both of them now before we actually hop into ElevenLabs text-to-speech. All right, so the first way I'm going to show you is exactly how to create or clone a voice in ElevenLabs. So what you want to do is you want to use the voice design feature specifically. It allows you to create any voice that you want for any type of character. So the first step of actually creating high quality text-to-speech voices is by getting the best practices documentation and creating a custom gem using this documentation. So once you press best practices, it will send you to this page here. At the top, you can just press copy page, and then you want to go to your Gemini gem and then just create a Gemini gem for this actual ElevenLabs voice creation process. So instructions, you are a ElevenLabs voice prompt engineer. Follow the resources in your knowledge and create me high quality voices. And then in the knowledge, you just want to go here and actually import the file. I actually just put the documentation into a Google Docs and then downloaded it as a PDF. So that's just a simple way you can get it so you can put it into the knowledge. So once everything's in the knowledge, just save it and then start your chat. All right, so for this example, I'm going to be uploading a pre-existing photo I already have of an AI UGC character I want to use. And I'm going to be allowing Gemini to create me a voice prompt that suits that character and also specify that the voice sounds like it should be in the same room that she's standing in. I'm just going to write, create me a high quality 11 labs voice prompts. Sounds like it's standing in. And now it's going to create me that. It's going to look through the gem and actually take the resources we gave it and use it as reference when creating the prompts. All right, so now that it's done creating the actual voice prompts, we just simply want to take it from here and then head back over to ElevenLabs voice design and just simply paste it right here. Click generate.
Hey everyone! So today I wanted to share something super exciting. I just finished redecorating my little reading nook and it turned out even better than I imagined. I used these fairy lights and some comfy pillows and it's just so cozy now. I'll definitely post some pictures later.
There you go. As you can see, our voice really matches our character over here, and it really put the voice in the same room that she was standing in the original photo. And that's what we're going for. We don't want that production heavy voice or it's sounding like it's off a podcast mic. I'll show you the other two examples now, and then I'll show you how it actually sounds like in text-to-speech.
Hey everyone, so today I wanted to share something super exciting. I just finished redecorating my little reading nook and it turned out even better than I imagined. I used these fairy lights and some comfy pillows and it's just...
That's the second voice, and here's the third voice.
Hey everyone, so today I wanted to share something super exciting.
There you go. So as you can see, they gave us 3 great options to pick from. I preferred
Hey
option
everyone!
1, so I'm going to be using that in the demonstration for the text-to-speech. Okay, here we go. Now, once we are in text-to-speech, there's a few things you want to know, okay? ElevenLabs has 3 different models. Actually, basically 2, honestly. They have ElevenLabs V3 Alpha and ElevenLabs Multilingual V2. So ElevenLabs V3 is their new model that actually has realistic cadence, but there can be some inefficiency sometimes. Sometimes the audio can get messed up, or sometimes it can sound a bit off. However, when it does work, it comes out very nice. But if you want to automate something or if you're looking for a good repetition that's guaranteed results, I recommend just sticking with ElevenLabs Multilingual V2. And this one will always give you the same consistent, high quality voice. It may never sound as good as ElevenLabs V3. However, it is more consistent and high quality. So I'm going to show you the comparison between the two and allow you to make your judgment on which one you want to use. Just know that ElevenLabs Multilingual V2 is pretty much just the more consistent one for quality output. But ElevenLabs V3 is also very expressive and high quality when it does come out nice. So with ElevenLabs V3, you can use something like neutral multi-speaker dialogue. You can also use audio tags in between every word to dictate emotion and delivery. So for example, you can add things like enhance, and then she will say certain things more enhanced. You can say like laughing, and then she laughs before she actually says something, or she can start whispering. And that's the power of ElevenLabs V3. ElevenLabs V2 can't really have that control. Okay, so I'm going to put in this text prompt for that voice, and then I'm going to generate the speech.
Hey guys! So I've been getting a ton of questions about my morning routine lately. Honestly, it's been super simple. I just started taking these apple cider vinegar gummies and I'm actually obsessed. They taste amazing and I feel like I have so much more energy to start my day.
Perfect. And as you can see here, that voice sounded very, very realistic. And it actually sounded like it was in the room. And that's kind of what we're going for. One thing to note that is 11 Labs V3 will give you two different voice outputs. And I've always liked to listen to both voices because sometimes one generation may sound better than the other. So let's play the second one.
Hey guys, so I've been getting a ton of questions about my morning routine lately. Honestly, it's been super simple. I just started taking these apple cider vinegar gummies and I'm actually obsessed. They taste amazing and
Perfect. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Always play both just to listen to how they could sound. And if you want to actually play with the cadence and the enhancements of it, you can press V3 enhance, and then it'll actually enhance your prompt to start off with her happy, she laughs, and things like that. So you can play around with that. Now I'll show you how this voice actually sounds like with ElevenLabs Multilingual V2, the more consistent output, but you can actually control the cadence.
Hey guys! So, I've been getting a ton of questions about my morning routine lately. Honestly, it's been super simple. I just started taking these apple cider vinegar gummies, and I'm actually obsessed. They taste amazing, and I feel like I have so much more energy to start my day.
There you go. So that's 11 Labs Multilingual V2. In my personal opinion, I feel like 11 Labs V3 comes out on top when it comes to the cadence and the expressiveness of the voice. It sounds more natural, and I feel like that'll perform much better in AI UGC. So that's just a quick example of 11 Labs text-to-speech, and I'm going to show you 11 Labs voice cloning now. Okay, so another great feature about 11 Labs is their voice clone. Their voice clone also works great for text-to-speech. If you want to clone a voice, simply head over to create or clone a voice. Head over to instant voice clone. I don't really recommend professional voice clone as it does take a long time and a lot of minutes of audio. And I found that instant voice clone also works very well. But if you do want the most accurate results, and let's say you're trying to create a voice for yourself, you can then use professional voice clone to get a very, very accurate representation of your own voice. However, instant voice clone still works as well in most scenarios. So you just hit instant voice clone, you drag and drop at least 10 seconds of audio, and then it'll be the same text-to-speech process as we did before. So that's pretty much how to get the most realistic 11 Labs text-to-speech output voices. Just as a summary, do not use 11 Labs voice changer and do not use 11 Labs pre-made voices. 11 Labs pre-made voices sound too professional and they won't be good for most use cases. Here's a quick example of what I mean.
Latest news, trends, and celebrity gossip. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about all the latest news, trends, and celebrity gossip. Let's get into it.
As you can see here, honestly, that sounds way too much like AI. It doesn't sound as natural as our voice design voices. So I recommend using the process I showed here and you'll get a much higher quality output.